boy Mundus. Welcome to the show, and back again with another video. We are talking about some serious stuff. This is a live that's going to be really informative. Really informative. It's going to bless you tremendously. Some talking about some interesting things. A lot of people have been wanting me to do a video about this UN statue and stuff. I know I've been busy. I've not been able to post a video for a while. I've been busy, but I wanna break down about talk about this UN statue, the Guardian of Peace, which was given to the UN. We'll get into it in a few minutes. I'm just waiting for people to come through to show up, and we'll discuss this. So much to discuss, since we last um, it's been a while, but yeah, there's so much to discuss, and we'll get into it in a second. But yeah, there's so many developments going on around the world, so many things happening around the world. It's like prophetic, prophetic things are being fulfilled. One thing after the another. It's just like a speed of prophecy being fulfilled. And these are indeed the last days, as the scriptures talk about. These are those last days, and I thought this statue from the UN in particular, I did actually, I was not even paying attention to it. Someone actually sent this to me, and I was like, oh wow, this is quite interesting. When I looked at that statue, immediately in my mind, the thoughts that came to me is like, oh man, this is like some revelation type of statue, and I was like, dear Lord, what is this? And funny enough, it's the UN. I mean, you can't make these things up. It had to be the UN. But anyway, I want to, I did look at around. A lot of people talking about, yeah, it's the statue of Revelations or in the book of Daniel, but really nobody explains exactly what's the symbolism of this statue. There's so many symbols in here, symbolism about this statue. When I was looking at it, there's a lot of symbols. I might not be able to talk about all of them in this one video, but I'll talk about the ones that I noticed, and I was like, dear Lord, this is a lot. This is quite symbolic. There's so many. I mean, why did the UN just get this statue? Why did they have to give him? It was supposed to be a gift. Why did they just give him, maybe, I don't know, um, like a dog or something? Why did they have to have such a image? Very, very bold image and a bold statement. But because in the scriptures are prophetic. But anyway, I want to get into this. Hey, Sister Sanchez here. Great to see you. You're welcome. You're welcome. Awesome, awesome. I'm glad you joined. Uh, it's been a while since I went live. But yeah, today we're talking about. I thought I should do this video because people are like, dude, can you please explain? Well, I was like, oh man. Okay, so let's look. If you don't know, basically what we're looking at, this is like it's a statue that was given to the UN by a gift from some art from Mexico. They call it the Guardian of Peace. Can you see the irony of that? It's called the Guardian of Peace. Such an image that looks like that. Let me see if I can show another image. Look how does that symbolize peace? Look at that image. This was given to the UN um, as a symbol of peace. And I thought that is quite ironic. It reminded me instantly when I was reading about the literature of it. I was like, oh wow, this just reminds me of the book of Revelations. You can't make this up. So it's quite symbolic. And why do people, before I go into the book of Revelations, I just want to read to you what people are saying about this statue, because I wanted to find out what are people talking about this statue. What does the UN say about it? What is the public saying about it? Do they see as in being symbolic, or what is all this? So I found this important, interesting article from Snopes or something about this statue. I want to read to you, just see how people are very quick to say this is not what the book of Revelation talks about. Why are they so quick to talk about this? Anyway, I'm reading this, and it's in this site called Snopes, or whatever. It says this. It describes this statue, right? I hope you can see that clearly because it has a lot of ads. It says this is a genuine statue that was installed outside the UN, while a number of people have expressed the opinion that this statue resembles a beast mentioned in the Bible. There are a few things to note about this claim. So this article is trying to say, oh, these people are saying these statues are the beast from the Bible and Revelation. No, no, they're just fanatic. They're just making things up. So, but I want to just read to you what they're saying and their position, right? It says, first, this statue was created to depict keywords, a guardian of peace and security. Oh my goodness gracious. You can't make these things up. I'll show you that in a second. So this statue is supposed to depict, it's supposed to be a symbol of peace and security, not an apocalyptic monster. Second, the beast in the biblical passage, which is referred to as a lion, not a jaguar, generally throughout to represent a kingdom. And lastly, this is hardly the first time a statue has depicted a big cat with wings. In other words, not all winged lions are hummingbugs of doom. The UN, this statue, which depicts a jaguar with eagle's wings, was installed outside the United Nations in New York. It was recreated by artists Jacob and Maria as the guardian of international peace and security, and was donated to the UN by the government of Gusana, Mexico in December 2021. And so this is the tweet from the United Nations. A guardian for international peace and security sits on the Visitors Plaza outside New York, the UN headquarters. The guardian is a fusion of jaguar and eagle donated by the government of Gusana in Mexico. It was created by artists, blah blah blah. So that's they call it the statue, the beast. We'll look at it into that in a second. So you can read. I don't know if I should keep on reading this. Well, so is they're presenting an argument saying this statue is not the beast the Bible talks about. It says, while the statue is undoubtedly real, does it resemble an apocalyptic beast? The claim is largely based on a biblical passage in which the prophet Daniel speaks of a vision which he saw four great beasts. Daniel says the first beast was like a lion and it had wings of an eagle. So anyway, they give the reference there. Uh, they give the reference. I'll probably put the link to it. They're basically saying this is just a regular statue. There's no big deal. This is not the beast the Bible is talking about in Revelations. People are just getting wound up for no reason. But so let's break this down. Let's break this down. Because I was thank God for a man of God, Pastor Chris. He taught us so extensively on the book of Revelations and how what the symbols mean and the symbolism of things. So I had to go back to my notes. I was like, a man of God, Pastor Chris taught us about this and the different symbols and what each of these symbols mean. So let's get into the scriptures because we should use the scriptures to interpret what's going on around the world. So is this statue the beast in Revelation or in the book of Daniel? Let's find out. So let's go to the book of Revelation. Let's just go to the book of Revelation and find out if this is true. So let's go to Revelations. Um, book of Revelations. By the way, if you're joining us, you're welcome. We're looking at some few things. Let me just see if my thing is showing clearly. Awesome, awesome, awesome. So let's go to the book of Revelations. I think we should begin from chapter 13 and verse number 1. So Revelations chapter 13, verse 1. So we're trying to look if this is really that beast. It says, and I stood up upon the sand of the sea and saw a beast rise up out of the sea, having 7 heads and 10 horns. So 7 heads and 10 horns. This is important, right? And upon his, oh my God, do we even have time? This is going to be a long video. I can see this being a long video already. But anyway, let's find it. So 7 heads and 10 horns, and upon his horns 10 crowns, and upon his heads the names of blasphemy. And he said, this is the beast. Remember, this beast came from the sea. And the beast which I saw was like unto a leopard, and his feet were as the feet of a bear, and his mouth as the mouth of a lion. And the dragon gave him his power and his seat and great authority. Oh my good. And let's keep on reading. And I saw one of his heads as if it were wounded to death, and his deadly wound was healed. And all the world wondered after the beast, and they worshipped the dragon that gave power unto the beast, and they worshipped the beast, saying, "Who is like unto the beast? Who is able to make war with him?" And there was given unto him a mouth. These are very specific things. There was given unto him a mouth speaking great things, blasphemies, and power was given unto him to continue for 42 and 2 months. That's 3.5 years. And he opened his mouth in blasphemy against God, to blaspheme his name and his tabernacle and them that dwell upon the heaven. And it was given unto him to make war with the saints and overcome them. And the power was given unto him over all the kindreds and kindreds and tongues and all nations. And all that dwell upon the earth shall worship, whose names are not written in the book of. Anyway, so yeah, this beast, he said, is like a leopard, right? Let's go back here. And as a feet of a bear. How does this beast look like? Let's look at this. I wish. So let me find another. He said it looks like a leopard. It looks like a leopard. It has feet of a bear. Let's look at those feet. And remember, the statue the UN said it's a fusion. He called it a jaguar, between a jaguar and all these weird eagles. But he said this beast looks like a leopard, and he has feet of a bear and a mouth of a lion. Okay, so I had to go look at this. So this is the beast again. If you look at it closely, look at the feet. These are not regular feet. I hope you can see this. These feet are definitely looking like a feet of a bear. But anyway, that is a lion. That's the mouth of a lion. I mean, we're being practical, right? That's the mouth of a lion. That's how the lion looks like. Hold on a second. I just 2 seconds. I just want to make sure my stream it is streaming okay, because I'm getting a little bit of a lag. Okay, great. So yeah, so that's the mouth of a lion, right? Awesome. And that's a leopard. I don't know if you can tell the difference. These are two images side to side. You have the image of a jaguar and a leopard, and you can see how they look similar. They all got spots, and the Bible said he looked like. It's like someone saying that car looks like, you know, it looks like a Mercedes, you know. It's not a Mercedes Benz. It kind of looks like it. It looks like, and you can see the Jaguar and the Leopard. They all look like the same, because they say the UN statue is a Jaguar, but that's, you can't even tell. If I didn't tell you which was the Leopard between the two, you probably won't be able to tell the difference. Those are two different. Those are two different animals. That one is a Jaguar, one is a Leopard. Let me show you another image. Can you tell the difference? This is a leopard and a jaguar. One is a leopard and one's a jaguar. They both got spots. They both got the same body features. Maybe one spot's a little bit different, but one is a jaguar, one's a leopard. So the Bible is accurate about this. It said here it was like a leopard, jaguar, similar. Feet were like the feet of a bear. We saw that. Those are not ordinary feet. Those are definitely bear kind of feet. Let's look at it. Those feet right there were like the feet of a bear. You can look at this. I don't know if I wish I could find a better image, but anyway, and the mouth of a lion. We just saw a lion. So that's one aspect of it. I want to show you another aspect, because I took notes, different notes on this. Let me show you another thing. So these are my notes from my man of God, Junior Lovell. So the leopard, what's the significance of the leopard? You know, Pastor Chris, the man of God told that the leopard stands for the Grecian Empire. So he said it looks like a leopard. So the leopard represents the Grecian Empire, right? And the feet of the bear, they represent the Medo-Persian Empire. We'll go through the different There are different empires. You know, when you read the book of Daniel, it talks about all these different empires that came. It talks about this statue where you have the Egyptian empire. Oh man, I don't wanna, this might be deep, but just bear with me. You know, so the bear represent, when he says this beast looks like a leopard, the leopard represent the Grecian empire, is a Grecian spirit. Is that's the spirit that's going to control the antichrist, because these are all symbols, by the way. So he's a symbol, it's all symbolic. You know, when he talks about the beast, he's not going to come out like an animal, he's going to be human, right? Because he says it comes out from the sea. So, and based on what we learned from man of God Revelation, when you talk about coming from the sea, that's human beings. So the animals are just representations, are just symbols. So that beast looks like a leopard or a jaguar, like they said. It represents the Grecian Empire. That means that Grecian spirit that controlled the Empire of Greece is going to control this Antichrist. That's going to be the main spirit that's going to possess the Antichrist. And he said the feet, at the feet of a bear. That means it's going to have the characteristics of that Persian spirit that controlled the Middle Persian Empire. And then he said he will be supported by the Prince of Grecia. The lion is the Babylonian Empire. And the characteristics of that empire was blasphemies inspired by the Babylonian spirit. So that's why you see this animal has a fusion. He has Middle East, Middle Persian Empire characteristic, the Grecian Empire, the Babylonian Empire. Those are spirits that are going to control this Antichrist, but he's going to be controlled, mostly possessed by this Prince of Greece, the Grecian spirit, right? And that's why the Bible talks about. Oh man, oh Lord. Okay, but let's look at yeah, let's look at the Bible is really accurate. I wrote some few notes. Let's look at the book of Daniel. Now, let's go actually to the book of Revelation. Let's go to the book of Revelation. So we just noticed when we read Revelation 13, someone must say, this beast does not have seven heads, because you said, I saw a beast arise from the sea, having seven heads and 10 horns. And upon his horns, crowns, and upon his heads, the names of blasphemy. What are those seven heads exactly? We're gonna find out the seven heads. So when we go to the book of Revelation, chapter 17, verse 1, and oh man, this is gonna be a long read, but bear with me. And he said, and there came one of the seven angels which had the seven vials, and talked with me, saying unto me, come hither, I will show unto you the judgment of the great whore that sitteth upon many waters, with whom the kings of the earth have committed fornication, and the inhabitants of the earth have been drunk with the wine of her fornication. So he carried me away in the spirit in the wilderness, and I saw a woman sit. So these are, you need to pay attention to this. He said, I saw a woman sit upon a scarlet colored beast. So we looked at that beast that came from the sea, right? That beast that came from the sea had seven heads, 10 horns, and he was like the body of a leopard, feet of a bear, mouth of a lion. That was in Revelation 13. Revelation 17 talks about a beast, a scarlet colored beast, full of names of blasphemies. Look at this beast, having seven heads and seven horns. Is it not just similar to that beast that we read to in the book of Revelation, chapter 13? In the book of Revelation, chapter 13, let's go back here. Oh man, the man of God showed us this. It was amazing. So Revelation chapter 13, verse 1 says, uh, and I saw a beast rise up from the sea, having seven heads. These are keywords, so you don't confuse it. Having seven heads and 10 horns, and upon his horns 10 crowns, and upon his heads names of blasphemy. Okay, so Revelation 17, verse 1, and let's go where we were, right? And this woman was sitting upon this beast, right? And oh, where is that? So the beast that this woman was sitting on, um, had seven heads and 10 horns, just like the one in Revelation. And the woman was arrayed in purple, scarlet, and decked with gold and precious stone, having a cup. And upon her head was a name written, Mystery, Babylon the Great, the mother of harlots, the abomination of all the earth. This woman was seated on this beast. And I saw the woman drunk it with the blood of the saints and the blood of the martyrs of Jesus when I thought, and the angel said to me, why dost thou marvel? I will tell you the mystery of the woman and of the beast that carried her, which had 7 heads and 10 horns. So the angel explains to John what is the meaning of this beast that has 7 heads and 10 horns, and that woman that's sitting upon her. The beast that thou saw, oh, so this is important. The beast that thou saw was and is not, and shall ascend out of the bottomless pit, and shall go into perdition. And they that dwell upon the earth shall wonder, whose names were not written in the book of life from the foundation, when they behold the beast that was and is not, and yet to come, and yet is. Oh, that's big. So he says, this beast that you saw, he was he was and is not, meaning he existed before, and currently when the revelation has been given to John, that beast was not in operation. He was in the bottomless pit, and he said this beast is going to come back again. He's going to be let out of the bottomless pit. That's what the man God explained. So this beast was that. When he said the beast was, that means he existed. I mean, he existed before, and he was controlling an empire, and he's not no more. I mean, during John's period, that was when the Roman Empire was in control. That beast was not, and that beast is coming back again. And people wonder. That's what it means. It says when they saw the beast whose wound was wounded, that means they wondered how come this empire was restored back. I hope you get me here. I know it sounds. Anyway, he explains everything. He says, here's the man which has wisdom. The 7 heads are 7 mountains on which the woman seated, and there are 7 kings. So the 7 heads represent 7 kingdoms. 5 are fallen. How did we get here? Oh man, how did we get here? 5 are fallen. We're going to explain this in a bit. 5 are fallen, and one is 5 are fallen, and one is, and the other is yet to come. And when he cometh, he must continue a short space. And the beast that was and is not, even he is the 8th and of the 7th, and goeth into perdition. And look at it. It says, and the 10 horns which thou sawest are 10 kings, which have received no kingdom as yet, but receiveth power as. Oh, let me explain first some few things before we rush into all of that. Okay, let's look at it. I'm gonna go explain this. So the 7 kingdoms, let's look at it. These are 7 kingdoms, so you can understand it. He said he had 7 heads, 7 kingdoms. Let's explain what it means. The first kingdom was the Egyptian Empire, Egypt, if you spell Egypt. Um, After Egypt was Assyria. I hope I get it. After Assyria was the Medo-Persian Empire, Medo-Persian Empire. After the Medo-Persian Empire, I believe it was the Babylon that came first. The Babylonian Empire. After that, the Greece Empire took over. And after the Greece, remember, Rome took over. So the seventh kingdom, so Rome existed during the time of John, right? These, he says, 5 are falling. The Egyptian Empire is falling. The Assyrian Empire was fallen. The Medo-Persian Empire was fallen. Babylon fell. Greece fell. During John's time, let's go back here. He says, there are 7 kingdoms, 7 kings. 5 are fallen, meaning um, Egypt is fallen. Assyria is fallen. Medo-Persia is fallen. Babylon is fallen. Greece is fallen. During this revelation of John, Rome was the kingdom in position at that time. So Rome was the dominant kingdom. So Rome was that kingdom, the 6th kingdom, right? And he says, and the one is Rome. This is what he's referring to, because this revelation came to John during the Roman Empire. So Rome was the 6th kingdom, which was, right? And then he says something else. And the other is not yet come, And when he cometh, he must continue for a short space. So during John's time, the seventh kingdom, which people refer to as the revised Rome, right? They call it revised Rome or the EU. This is plainly put it like that. The seventh kingdom is the United European Union. They call it the revised Rome. He said that kingdom had not come during John's time because the Roman Empire was in control, right? So he says, uh, and the other is not yet come, and when he cometh, he must continue for a short space. So when the EU comes in sin, it will be for a short space. So you might ask, what's the eighth kingdom? The eighth kingdom is the new world order. This is what he says here when he says, and the beast that was and is not, even he is the eighth and is of the seven and goeth into perdition. Let me explain that to you. Our man of God, Pastor Chris, explained this. That means the spirit that's going to be controlling the new world order, that kingdom here, he was one of the let me explain. He says, let me do that. And the beast that was and is not, even he is the eighth and is one is of the seventh, meaning this beast is one of the seven and is that Grecian spirit. That Grecian spirit that control Greece. Because you have to understand, devils, there's a difference between the physical kingdom and the spirits. When you have a physical kingdom, there's a spirit behind that physical kingdom. So like in Egypt, there was a spirit controlling Egypt. I think that was Abaddon. That was a demonic spirit that was in charge of Egypt. It's called Abaddon. And in Assyria, it was the Assyrian spirit. Medo-Persia, this different spirit. And in Babylon, it was a Babylonian spirit. In Greece, it was the spirit of Grecian. And this Grecian spirit is of the fifth. He says this spirit was, and during John time was not, because he was in the bottomless pit, but he's coming back again. And it's going to be of the eighth. That means the grace spirit is coming on a new world order. That's the Grecian spirit. Bear with me. This is going to make sense because he was one of the seven. Grace, this spirit that controlled grace, this demonic spirit is called the Grecian spirit, is under the bottomless pit. But he's going to be released, and he's the one that's going to possess the Antichrist. The Grecian spirit is going to possess uh, the Antichrist. You're going to see that. That means, that symbol is going to make sense to you. But just bear with me right here. So I hope I'm making sense. So anyway, he established the eighth kingdom, he said, and the beast that was and is not, even he is the eighth and is of the seventh and going into perdition. So he has explained that the eighth spirit is the Grecian spirit. And the 10 horns, which thou sawest, are 10 kings, which have received no kingdom as yet. He said, the 10 horns you saw, these are 10 kings. They have not received a kingdom. During John's time, they have not received a kingdom as yet, but receiveth power as kings, one with the beast. These have one mind and shall give their power and strength unto the beast. So let me explain to you who the 10 kings are. The 10 kings are going to be Europe, the revised Rome. This seventh kingdom are going to hand over their power to the Antichrist, the New World Order. So now you can start seeing how the UN comes about with this, right? You can start understanding how this makes sense now. Because the EU or the revised Rome, they're going to give their, because they're going to just be, the seventh kingdom is just going to continue for a little period. He said it will be for a short space. When you go back here, it says the seventh will be for a short space. What is this? Let me highlight that so you can see it. It says, and there are 7 kings, 5 are fallen, one is, and one is yet to come. And when it cometh, the one that was yet to come was supposed to be the seventh kingdom, which is the EU, the revised Rome. And when it cometh, he must continue a short space. Why? Because this is what they're going to do. They are the 10 kings, which they have not received the kingdom during John's time, but they will receive their power, one with the beast. That means when this kingdom comes into place, the Antichrist comes into place because they will hand over their power to the beast, the Antichrist, because they have one mind, and they shall give their power and their strength unto the beast. Okay. Uh oh man, okay, it keeps on going. Let me keep on reading this. Anyway, so we established that. So these folks, the the EU will hand over their power to the Antichrist, the New World Order, the Eighth Kingdom, which is going to be dominated by this Grecian spirit. This demonic spirit is going to possess the Antichrist. The spirit of grace is the one going to possess him, but he's going to have so many similarities from all these other kingdoms. You're going to see that in a bit. But anyway, this shall make war with the Lamb, and the Lamb shall overcome them. Ain't this amazing? Thank God we know how the movie ends. It doesn't matter what they do. We already know the end of the script. It says they will make war with the Lamb, and the Lamb shall overcome them, for he is the Lord of lords and King of kings. And they that are with him are called and chosen and faithful. And he said unto them, so he's explaining further, the waters which thou sawest, where the horse sitteth, are peoples and multitudes and nations and tongues. And the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore, and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire. For God has put in their hearts to fulfill his will, and to agree to give their kingdom, and to agree and give their kingdom unto the beast, until the words of the Lord shall be fulfilled. And the woman which thou sawest, that's the great city which reigneth over the kings of the earth. Basically, he's saying this seventh kingdom, the EU, whatever represented, they will give their kingdom willingly to the Antichrist. And they will destroy the woman that sits upon the great city. Meaning political, man of God said, the political version of Rome or Europe will destroy the religious Rome, the Vatican, the one that will destroy all forms of religion to have one world religion where the Antichrist is God. That's basically what they're going to do. They're going to destroy religion. That's the Babylon, mystery Babylon, the great city. That's the religions of the world. They're all going to be destroyed, and to worship the Antichrist, the beast. So, with that beared in mind, let's, without explanation, you understand what this symbol means, right? I've read, oh man, I'll do that to my book. Okay, I took some notes. With that in mind, I said Babylon is the. Okay, so I just wrote some few notes. I wrote a few things. Okay, so let's go to the book of Daniel, chapter 7, and look at this beast again. Daniel, chapter 7. Uh, let's look at this. Is this the beast that the scriptures is talking about for real? Let's find this. What is this? Daniel chapter 7. Let's start from verse 1. In the first year of Belshazzar, the king of Babylon, Daniel had a dream and visions upon his head, upon his bed, and he wrote the dream. Daniel spoke and said, I saw in my vision by night, and behold, the four winds of the heavens strove upon the great sea, and four great beasts came out from the sea, diverse from one another. The first was like a lion, had eagle's wings. I beheld till the wings were plucked up, and he was lifted from the earth, and made to stand upon his feet as a man, and a heart was given to it. And behold, another beast, like a bear, and it was raised by itself on one side, and he had three ribs on his mouth between the teeth. And they said unto it, Arise, devour flesh. After that, I beheld, lo, like a leopard. Look at this. These are different beasts just showing up. And behold, lo, another one like a leopard, which had upon the back of it four wings like a flower. And the beast also had four heads, and dominion was given unto it. After which I saw in the night vision a fourth beast, dreadful and terrible, and strong exceedingly, and he had great iron teeth, and he devoured and brake in pieces and stampede the residue with the feet of it. It was diverse from other beasts. And I consider the horns, and behold, there came upon them a little horn, before whom there were 3 of the first horns plucked by the roots. And behold, this horn was And this horn were eyes like the eyes of a man, and a mouth speaking great things. And he talks about how judgment was brought. Da 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 da. So anyway, man, I'm looking at time. I wanted to explain a few things. Let me just making sure. Thanks, Sister Sensia, for that moderation. Appreciate you. Let me explain now, based on what we just looked at. What does this mean? What does all the meaning of all of this mean? So this statue is brought to the UN. This beast, I just explained, it looks like the beast from Revelation. The body of a leopard, the feet of a bear. He had wings of an eagle, what Daniel talks about. And he says this is the Antichrist. That means the Antichrist will be possessed mostly by the Grecian spirit. He will have the characteristics of the Babylonian spirit. He says he has the mouth of a lion, and he will have the spirit, the characteristics of the Medo-Persian Empire because he has feet of a bear, and he'll have his great power from the dragon. You can't even tell by the tail. That's a dragon tail. He'll get his seat from from Satan. Satan is referred to as a dragon. So clearly, this is that beast from Revelation. Someone must say, where's the seven heads? That is very easy to understand because we just read to you. The seven heads are literally kingdoms that were there, they're not there anymore. And where is this statue? This statue is in the United Nations, which represents nations of all around the world. That's literally like representing the seven heads or all the kingdoms of the world are represented because this statue was put in the UN. So the seven heads are covered by the fact it is a UN statue. So that's just easy to understand. And also the 10 horns. It's the UN again. I said these 10 horns, these are with 10 kings, 10 kingdoms, which will be coming from the EU, which is part of the UN still. And then finally, we're talking about it. This statue is called the Guardian of Peace. They call it the Guardian of Peace. And I want to show you the significance of that. If you go to the book of Daniel, chapter 8, and verse 23, they call the statue the Guardian of Peace. Why did they call it the Guardian of Peace? Anyway, let's read to you. This is talking about the Antichrist. It says, and in the latter time of their kingdom, when the transgressors are come to the full, a king of a fierce countenance and understanding dark sentences shall arise, and his power shall be mighty, but not by his own power. He shall destroy wonderfully and shall prosper and practice and shall destroy the mighty and the holy people. And through his policy also he shall cause craft to prosper in his hand. He shall magnify himself in his heart, and by peace shall destroy many. How can you destroy people by peace? And by peace shall he destroy many. He shall also stand up against the Prince of Peace, but he shall be broken without hand. This statue is called the Guardian of Peace. So clearly, it is fake peace. It's going to be a false sense of peace because he's going to come in, like our man God Pascal said, for 3.5 years, he's going to be like a man of peace. People will be thinking, oh man, this is a beautiful thing. The Antichrist has brought peace. And after the 3.5 years, he turns to be this beast that he actually is. And he will destroy many because he came with fake peace. It was deception and people believed it, and he will destroy many. That's why they have that symbol of a, how can this represent peace? And people don't see this and say, how can such a dreadful creature be put as a statue of peace? And the scripture actually literally tells us he's going to destroy many by peace. If you read, I wrote another scripture, Revelations. Let's go another. So we almost about, man, what's the timeline? Okay, Revelation. One more scripture, and then we'll wrap up. Revelations chapter number 6. So it says, and I saw when the Lamb opened one of the seals, and I heard as it was a noise of thunder, and one of the four beasts saying, come and see. And behold, a white horse, and he that sat on him had a bow, and a crown was given unto him, and he went forth conquering and to conquer. So John sees the revelation, someone sitting on a white horse, and he's given the Antichrist. This represents the Antichrist, by the way. He sits on his white horse. He's given a crown and a bow without an arrow. How can you conquer with a bow and you don't have an arrow? How you going to conquer? You don't have arrows. You just have a bow with no arrows. It's like someone giving you a gun with no bullets. And you said he went about conquering, because the way he's going to conquer is by fake peace. He's not going to conquer by war. He's going to conquer by deception. He's going to come like a man of peace. That's why he doesn't need an arrow. He's going to come as a man of peace. And through that deception of peace, he's going to destroy many. So anywho, I hope that makes sense. I just had to clarify that, because a lot of people are saying, oh yeah, this has nothing to do with anything. You know, you have to just be aware, because a lot of people just, the rapture will take place and they'll be thinking, oh no, this is not real. The rapture even didn't take place. Like you gotta have your spiritual senses attuned to the things of what's going on, and be aware. These are just precursors to the main event. You know, why did, you know, who could have come up with this? Why would they put this statue in the UN in particular? It's amazing. You know, the things are moving so fast and swiftly, and the world is a world of symbols. Don't forget that things are not just by coincidence. Things represent things. People just don't do things for the sake of doing it. This is not a work of art. It is a symbolic work. Everything is symbolic. The Bible is about symbols too. The Bible, the whole book of Revelation is symbolic. It has so many symbols. All these people that work in an occult, they use symbols. The world uses symbols. Everything is symbolic. There are symbols for everything. You know, communication is not only through words. You just don't communicate something by saying it. People communicate things through symbols. There's a lot of imagery and symbols, and so, and you got to be aware of it, or you might, you know, it is all over you. If you're aware of it, you'll see it everywhere. You see it in movies, you see it in music, you see it everywhere. And the people that know it know what they're using. People that are aware of the symbols, they know they're not using it by mistake. They know exactly what they're doing. So I just thought I would do a breakdown, because a lot of people are sending me messages to do a video on this. But I hope that made sense. I hope that clarified a few things. If you want to find out more information, I'd suggest you go check out Pastor Chris' digital library. He has a huge video about the book of Revelation. He goes into depth about the different symbols, chapter by chapter, line by line. You know, he breaks down every single thing. So that will help you out. So awesome. Also, I wanna send out. Oh, okay. I'm a bit late. I think I catch up and show you. Awesome. Yeah, you're welcome, South African Rose. Don't worry. Yeah, you catch up the live, but you're not late for a gift. I want to give you a gift, by the way, everyone that's watching. We have a movie that's coming out from Love World, and it's been released this weekend, or it's already been released. And I want to give you a free ticket. I want to give everyone a free ticket to this movie. I mean, I only got a few tickets left. I think I got like about five tickets. So if you send me an email, I must send you a ticket. But I want to play this movie that's been out. It's a Christian movie. You know, you don't find a lot of Christian movies nowadays. So this is a one-of-a-kind Christian movie that's been premiered this weekend on a Christian app called Qflix. You know, way better than Netflix. Christian movie. So I want to give you free tickets to this movie. All you have to do is download the app, and then you can put the ticket and redeem and watch a movies, different kinds of movie, kids movie, different trailers. I want to play for you this trailer. It's a movie set, a Christian movie, and just watch this. Bless you. Let's just look at this for a minute.
What else will people understand? I have appealed to them severally. What causes oil spillage? Is it not vandalism?
The riots on the coast and uprising.
I mean, I've been having sleepless nights since this protest started.
Oil entered the land and destroyed all the crops. So all the hard work wasted, everything gone.
This oil palaver, it has brought us nothing but misery.
You know you approved of that agenda way before the gubernatorial campaign. It was a catch for our constituency. That was what gave us the votes.
Governance is all about prioritizing.
But this is for the good of our people.
You did disappoint me. I don't ever fall your hand before.
I'm gonna forget past glory, Jerry. We don't do this kind of thing.
Shut up there. You don't forget who you follow here. I'll be your brain, the pain.
The walls are coming in. The walls are closing in. The social media is drawing the attention of international agencies. See, you have to do something. Daniel, I'd like to advise you to tread softly. This role you've taken upon yourself is a difficult one. It's all too evident that the days are evil.
Now, Shosun, Honorable Daniel, what happened?
I'll just stop there a bit. Yeah, so that was just a little trailer of this movie. It's a Christian movie set in Africa. Different, a lot of beautiful movies are coming out of Africa. Christian movies, wholesome. They have different kids. So it's been released, and I want to give out free tickets. So if you want to watch that movie and several other movies, all you have to do, I'm gonna put the link where you can join our Telegram group, and I'll send you a ticket. And how you can download this movie, you just have to download this app. Let me just put it on the link. Let me first send the Telegram group. You can join our Telegram group right there, and I'll send you a free ticket for this movie. And for you to be able to watch it, you need to download this app. Let me just send you this app real quick. Bear with me. 1 second. Let me just send it to you in a sec. Okay. Oh Lord, let me find it. Copy link. Right, so you need to go to that link, and it's a free app. Download the app, and then I will send you a ticket. Just make sure you join our Telegram group. Just join it, and I can send you a link to a ticket, and you'll be able to redeem it and watch free movies. I think for a whole month, different kinds. This movie that's been released, and this other movie is being released. So if you want a free ticket, I only got a few left. So make sure you move fast if you want to. Join our Telegram group so I can send you the ticket. Download the app so you can redeem the ticket. I hope that makes clear sense. It's a simple process. Download the app and then join our group, Telegram group, and I'll send you a free ticket so you can watch a movie with your family during this Christmas and enjoy the period. Amazing, amazing, amazing. Thank you once again for being part of this. I hope you enjoyed that. Oh boy. Okay, it's better now. Sorry, second. 1 second. Yes, so thank you once again for joining me. I got more videos coming up soon. We're going to be back in regular schedule programming quite soon. So make sure you go join our Telegram group, and I'll send you a free ticket. Download the app so you can watch the free movie. Thank you for being part of this family, and may the Spirit of God rest upon you and your house, and your home. May you dwell in safety. May God's blessings surround you as a shield in the mighty name of Jesus. Thank you, precious Father, in Jesus' name. Amen. I'll see you guys next time. Have a wonderful evening. God bless you.